Welcome once again to How to Relate to Anyone. Here is Dr. Orv Owens.
Well, hello again. We welcome you back to How to Relate to Anyone. The idea of being in a relation-oriented person is important for your own progress, your own personal development, your own contribution to your world, whatever that is, and appreciated by those that see you develop this knowledge and plug it in. So we're looking at authority by knowledge. Because you know something I don't know, I give you the authority to coach me, to teach me, to coax me, to beat on my head until I get it right, whatever. Well, that last one's probably not right, but you understand what I'm saying. The idea that some people have developed knowledge in this area and it's of value to me, I want to learn from them. And so I give them the authority to tell me how to do it and how much to do it and what I need to do it. And you have that knowledge. You have knowledge in areas that I don't have. And it's a value. It's a value to your company. It's a value to your family. It's a value to the society. And so to share knowledge, offer it, be a presenter of the knowledge you have is very important. Some people come off as know-it-alls, and that's not what we're talking about. Because a know-it-all says, well, now I know, and you need to know, and that's not the way to go. Here's something you might want to try is a better way to go. It's a little softer and it's a little more pleasant, a little more friendly. And friendly is important if we're building relationships. You can't order people to learn. You can't order people to grow. You can't order people to do things without resentment and without pulling back by them. And in many cases, in the workforce, quitting. You keep beating up on me like that, I'm going to go someplace else and work where they love me, where they coach me instead of kicking me in the rear. I've worked with corporations that just literally, the supervisory staff just literally beat up on their employees and had huge turnover in personnel. Stop it. That's the thing. Just stop beating up on people and start leading them into a higher level of success. Leadership is that of knowing something and leading people into that same knowledge. And that's what we're talking about in this lesson. That knowledge is of value to those people who do not have it. You think about the development of things over the years. The creative people who've taken nothing and made it into something. I think of Grandma Moses. I've talked about her often in my lectures because Grandma Moses retired and then started painting and became world famous. And old Colonel Sanders, remember Colonel Sanders? What a guy. He was quite a personality. And people fell in love with Colonel Sanders. And in so doing, they fell in love with Kentucky Fried Chicken, if I can get that straight. It's the idea that knowledge shared builds relationships, builds communication, builds community. So, question is, how much have you used of your knowledge? Something you should ask yourself every day. Am I using what I've got, what I've learned? Some of the lessons you learned the hard way are valuable to other people. Some of the lessons you learned through schooling, through special seminars or workshops that you've attended are of value to other people. There are some people who are selfish with knowledge. They just won't share it. How did you do that? Oh, just did it. Yeah, but you got to do something to do it. What did you do? Just started and finished. And they just won't tell you how to get there. Because you see, it's my knowledge, and I'm going to hold my knowledge, and you're not going to get my knowledge, ha ha ha. And that sounds like a 6-year-old. The workplace is where knowledge is applied. Applied knowledge creates productivity. And the more knowledge you can obtain as a worker in a company, the more valuable you are to that company. And in most cases are rewarded with raises in pay and added vacation time and all the positive stuff that happens when you are a participant and a contributor to the productivity of a company. Your knowledge is super valuable. You know things that no one else knows. You've experienced things that I've never experienced. I've experienced things you don't want to, well, no, I don't want to go that way. No, we all have experiences that nobody else has had. And there's value to that. It's called knowledge. In the community, I have some people behind the camera here who are very involved in community. Just involved in their talents, using their talents and their time to invest in the community. And there's such great value to that. Sometimes it's not financially valuable, but it is satisfying to know this project came off in a big way. That's exciting stuff, and it's what makes life worthwhile. It's the spice of life, basically, being involved and seeing something happen because you put some effort forth. In family, it's the same thing. What do you bring into the family? Too many people come home from work and say, "I'm so tired, I don't even want to talk to anybody." Well, the fact is, today you learned some lessons, and probably your spouse might be interested in learning some of that same lesson, or at least hearing about it. Some exciting events. We like to share your excitement. My wife has a whole series of questions she asks every time I walk in the door. If I go out to change the water hose, when I come back, she says, "How's the water doing? Is it getting the garden, and are the potatoes getting watered?" She's got questions. She wants to know. And the ability to share your knowledge is the ability to relate to, in a positive way, everybody in your world. Education institutions are built upon knowledge. You can go to our school and we're going to make sure you walk out the door as a graduate with the knowledge you need to be highly successful in your career field. That's their marketing posture. And it's true. They know how to teach you to do things that you need to know before you can do things. This is one that's kind of on the back burner now in our society, and that's religion. Religious principles and concepts, I don't care what religion we're talking about, have impact upon the person. You cannot be involved in a religious activity without having some positive impact on your life. It just does. And then there's organizations that just make knowledge available to you. They're a source, and you can join them. We see it with the chambers of commerce and Kiwanis clubs. I belonged to a program called The Tip for a number of years, and people come and they say, "Oh, Joe Blow over here would like to hear about your product." And it's a referral business. There's value in knowledge. Knowing somebody that you don't know and introducing you to them is of value to you. So we want to build and use knowledge rather than hold it back. How much have you taken advantage of continuing education? How much have you taken advantage of education on television, education online now? There's so much knowledge available to us online. I don't know what you want to learn, but I'll guarantee you somebody's teaching it online. You just have to do a little research, a little search. I have people in this room who can teach you how to search those search engines and how to use them to find what you're looking for. It's there. The knowledge is there, available, and if you're not taking advantage of it, it serves you right. Ha ha ha. Because you're selling yourself short. That's all you're doing. The average person uses about 20% of their natural abilities in a lifetime. 1/60th of our brain cells. But I'll guarantee you, if you are making yourself available to knowledgeable people and knowledgeable sources like books and periodicals and online things and so on, your average is above the norm. And it doesn't take long and much study to get quite a ways above the average person. When you're thinking that 20% of our knowledge, it's of a potential knowledge. Our abilities, natural abilities turned into capabilities. Most people use such a small percentage of their natural abilities. I'm not very good at that, is something you hear often. When somebody says I'm not very good at that, what they're saying is I have not dedicated myself to learn to do that. Because the fact is you have the physical abilities to develop the capabilities in any career field. So the important thing is, what are your capabilities? Because that's natural abilities you've turned into capabilities. And you have to do that. No one can do it for you. So constantly changing, growing, developing, no matter what your age. I've been around for a lot of years, and when people ask me, how old are you? I tell them, well, on December the 27th, that's my birthday, I'll be 92. That's not true, but I hope I live that long. But I've been around for a few years. Planted a few trees and watched them grow and so on. And it doesn't matter what age you are, I learn something every day. The people in this studio that I'm sitting in right now know things I don't know and can tell me things I don't know. That's knowledge. And I listen a lot. It's interesting, as much as I talk on a screen like this or in seminars, when I get with a group, I'm probably the quietest guy in the room. I don't do a whole lot of talk. I do a lot of listening because I learn from everybody and anybody. Little kids, my grandchildren, it's great. Strong leadership seeks out people with knowledge or people who are hungry for more knowledge. It's called training. They're willing to train you if you are interested in learning. And you get paid for your knowledge and experience as you develop it. It's just automatic. We're a society looking for somebody to take some responsibility. Well, to take responsibility, you better have some knowledge. We don't want the captain of the ship to be a Boy Scout. Nothing wrong with Boy Scouts, but they don't know how to run a ship. I don't want my bus driver, to be in driver's training on Tuesday, learning to drive a car, and now here they are driving the bus. I don't think so. And we want people to be around us that are in a growth posture and are developing new experience and new knowledge so we can learn from them and play off of their hard work. I mean, there's people who have studied hours and hours and hours to present something that you can take and use today. My question is, are you using it? Are you developing greater knowledge every day? Lay your head on the pillow at night and say, what have I learned today that's of value to me the rest of my life? And if it's good, then you'll probably repeat and develop that knowledge into something that's of value to your family, to your company, to yourself, in your sales experience. Every sales presentation you make as a salesperson, you learn something, because you're dealing with unique individuals. There's no two people exactly alike. And so when I meet a couple or a person in a sales situation, I'm learning about them, and in learning about them, I'm learning things from them that will help me be more proficient, more productive, more effective with everybody and anybody. If we had the hunger for knowledge that a 3- and 4-year-old has, it'd be amazing what we would achieve in our lives, because they're always asking questions. They want to know everything about everything. I have grandchildren who just are full of questions because they're learning. They want to learn. Well, experienced used becomes applied knowledge. And that's of value to your community, it's of value to your company, it's of value to your family, it's of value to you. Our world today offers knowledge from so many sources, we have no excuse for not knowing. No excuse. I took some continuing education classes, and since developed my programs, I've taught some continuing education classes. These are adults who out there in the workday but come in the evening and want to learn how to be more effective in relating to people, or how to sell more effectively, or how to manage more effectively. And I've done that with several community colleges over the years. I've taken time out of traveling and just teach some classes. And it's interesting, people who come for continuing education come with a desire to learn, as opposed to a teenager in high school saying, gotta go to class, not hungry enough. The desire to learn can be fulfilled in today's world because there's so much knowledge available. And we hope that what we're offering is going to be a part of that for you and for those people whose lives you touch. We always appreciate it. Referral business. If you have found value in our programs, we encourage you to tell people about it and tell them it's available. We try keeping the cost factor down so low that anybody can afford to take this course. So what do you need to know to reach your personal goals? What are you all about? If you could be the person you want to be, if you could do the things you really want to do, what is that? Well, it's out there. Go ahead and take advantage of it. It's up to you.